Hey Scrappy friends, welcome back. Today I'm going to do something a little different. I am getting ready to do some Halloween projects using the new Booyah collection from Creative Memories. It's really fun and playful. It has some very whimsical icon paper and then some gorgeous pattern paper to go with it. And then you also can get these fabulous sticker sheets. These have like a little bit of a shimmer to them. It's like a little bit of a holographic or iridescent foiling kind of to them. So they're very, very cute. But the one thing that they did not release with this collection were some embellishments. So I thought I wanted to make my own. I love doing this. I've done this a couple times now here on YouTube. And I thought, you know what, I'm going to do it again. But this time I wanted to start from the beginning with you to show you kind of how I prep and get ready. Because what I do is I take the papers, mostly cardstock, and I just start pulling out punches and tools, and I start punching everything. And what I punch today, I will continue on for my next layouts using the Booyah collection. So it's going to carry on for lots of different projects and layouts. I have two videos coming up. One will be creating the embellishments, and another one is I have a very fun border I want to show you. But I do need to do some prep for that. So I hope that you're ready to come along with me. To start off making my embellishments, I first take my collection and I pull different color cardstocks. So I pulled some beige. I thought beige would go much better with this collection than white would, and plus it kind of gives a more of a spooky Halloween look to it. Of course, black, right? Can't have Halloween pages or without black. And then I went with the two new cardstocks that were just released, the Gravity Grape and the Terra Green. They match so perfectly with the pattern paper. And then I thought for some fun and a little bit of shine, I would bring in some shimmer paper. And so I brought in some orange and some parakeet green shimmer paper. I liked these two colors and shades to go along with the pattern paper than I did the non-shimmer cardstock. So those are going to be my main colors that I bring in. You're going to see me punching a lot of those and maybe some others along the way as well. So are you ready? You ready to jump in and do this with me? So I'm going to clean this up, and I'm going to first bring in the border punches. I brought in the spiderweb frame punch and field fence. I brought in fishnet. Ticket is a fabulous one to make pre-made borders. In fact, I did a whole video on this punch alone, making some DIY embellishments. I'll link that at the end of this video. And then I brought in the postage stamp, another great one to use for some embellishments. So my idea here is to punch out some of these and have them just ready to go. So as I'm creating over the next month or so, I'll have these all ready to go. If anything, I just like to put them on the page, see how they're going to look, and if I use it, great. If not, I'll save it for a future layout, and nothing will be wasted. So let's start off by looking at the spiderweb frame punch. This is one of those fabulous punches that could be used two different ways. It can be used as a border punch or a frame punch. I'm going to punch this one in both colors, the beige and the black. I want to make little spider webs to use on my embellishment. So let's slide this away, and I'll go ahead and punch these. To punch it as a border, you'd line it up to the black lines in the front, just like our other punches. And I'm going to punch one row out, and then I'm going to come back and show you how I can create little spider web embellishments. Now I'm going to trim it down, and you'll see here that this spider web portion is about 1 inch. It goes from the 1 inch mark to the cut line. And what I want to do is actually turn it this way, and I want a very small margin because I'm going to trim it and bring back in the punch and punch it on the other side. So I know I'm going to want about it to be as close to this as possible, so I'm going to bring it up to the 2-inch mark. And let's get our punch back in here. And I do need to bring in a Post-it note for this little hack because I won't be able to see the paper once I put it into the punch. So I'm going to just line my sticky note up to the edge here. And now I can see where it's going to line up exactly. And that part is very important in what I want to do in order to get a full spider web circle. Okay, let's slide it. And here's what we have. Little spider webs. And now I'm going to cut these apart, and I'll be able to use one at a time in my little homemade DIY embellishments. I'm just going to trim all these apart. I know I'm going to be using this a lot for my embellishments, so I'm going to go ahead and get one more row done on black, and then I'm going to also punch out one more row with the beige. I'm going to take all of these and put them in my tray to begin my little assortment here. Doesn't that just make the perfect spider web? I love it. Okay, so for the rest of the punches, I'm going to go ahead and get these punched out, just like I did with the spider web punch. But this one they're all just going to be individual strips. I'm going to make one strip of each of these, and then I'm going to do 2 strips of the fence. I'll make one in black and one in beige. So I'll go ahead and do that off camera. And then when I'm done, I'll come back and I'll be ready to move on to the standalone border punches. Okay, hold on. Whew, I got all these punched out and ready to go. And I wanted to even mention that sometimes when a punch has a negative fallout, that we want to remember to keep those. These could come in handy for my layouts coming up. So I went ahead and added those to my tray as well. So now we're going to get into the standalone punches or the individual punches. And how I do this is I go through my stash, and what I was looking for are some uncommon things that are relevant, uncommon punches that I could use. So not just the Halloween, if I have a ghost or a pumpkin. I wanted some things that speak to me as far as how I would want to use them for embellishment clusters later on. So I really am loving the scalloped circle punch, so I brought that in. I did bring in some florals because on that shimmer paper, I know that this embossed blossoms is going to look super great with that shimmer paper because it's going to emboss very nicely. And then I brought in the fresh flower and the sweet blossoms punch. I just feel like there's a lot of uses that we could even bring in florals in our Halloween themed pages. So I went ahead and did that, and then I also brought in some leaf punches. I love the gum leaf because it has like the pointy kind of finger looking leaves, and so I thought that is going to be perfectly creepy. You punch any of these out on black and orange or any of the Halloween colors that I showed previously, and it's going to change the look completely. And then of course I brought in some of my smaller punches just to have them already punched out. I like the heart, and I probably just do the whole thing and have some dots I can use, the star of course, and then my favorite little arrow punch. So let me put these aside and we'll go ahead and we'll get to some punching. So my plan is just to continue using my same paper until I run out and then get some more. But black, orange, purple, green, and my beige are going to be my primary colors. Now with this punch, we don't want to forget we have 2 other options. We could punch out the circle as well. Let's do a couple of those. So I want to show you the embossed flower and how nice that looks on the shimmer paper. And see how it just really accents that embossedness of the flowers. So I'm going to do several of those. Let's do it again here on the orange. There we go. And then let's do it on the black. See, once you put it on the right colors, you really can use it for anything. And that's gonna be my plan. Let me get a few more of these punched out and then I'll be back. So even if the punch out doesn't come out completely right, then I'm gonna save it for now because I can always tuck in the part that was mispunched and then just show coming out of an embellishment cluster. So I'll save it for now. If I don't use it, then this I'll just throw it in the trash. But I wanted to now move on to this gum leaf because I think this is kind of a fun one. So the punches that I picked out are just ones that I haven't maybe used in a while, or I just thought I would be different and clever by using them on Halloween layouts. But the ones that you pick might not be anything remotely like this. You might have other punches in your collection that are calling you to your layout. So let me show you what I mean by this one. You punch it on black and then all of a sudden it does look like a little bit Halloweenish, and we can tuck this in coming out, and it doesn't necessarily have to represent the gum leaf. So I just wanted to show that just think of your punches in other ways. And another one I really thought was different was the fireworks. You know, I love this punch for so many other things than just doing firework, and this is going to be one of those projects as well where I can incorporate these, very similar to the gum leaf where it just has flaring, how it's just coming out, and tucking this like halfway underneath an embellishment cluster. It doesn't look really like a firework anymore. So I'm going to do a lot of these in different colors, and the same with the other punches, and I'm going to get those all punched out. I won't keep you here on the video. I'll be back and I'm going to show you which border making cartridges I picked out. So my dish here is getting pretty full. I'm going to really enjoy going through these and pulling things out as I need them. But before I go on to my border making cartridges, I wanted to point out that I did bring in some softer yellow. This is canary yellow. And I also did some tangerine. These colors are the ones that they recommend for the collection. So I thought, well, I'll have a few handy. I'm not sure I'm gonna really get into these pastel-y colors because I have so many other colors going on here. So I thought, but I'll just put them in here and see where it goes. Okay, so for the border making cartridges that I picked out a few chain styles, and I'll probably punch out just maybe one row of each of these. Diamond Windows, Wispy, and Ribbon Wave. I feel like these two for sure are things that can come flowing out from an embellishment cluster base. And this one I think is great addition to add some texture, and I'll probably use each of these in just little segments, but I'll go ahead and punch out one whole strip of each of those. And then on these two, well, you guys know I love my banner punch just to cut out individual banners. So I'll be making several of these in different colors to use, and that's gonna be just single punch outs. And then I brought in bats and stars. So here we go with the theme embellishments. I love the bats that come out of here, but I don't really need to punch this one because I had a bunch left over from previous projects and I stored these away in my Halloween theme. So we have the lighter purple, and the black obviously is going to be my most used, and I have some orange. So I'm happy with this color choice. I'm gonna keep this for now and maybe decide later if I want something different. It's just so easy to punch out. I can use it like a standalone punch, put it in the cartridge holder and just punch out one set at a time. So I'm not really going to be punching out any of those, but I wanted to show it to you so you know where these came from. And that's it. I'm going to get these punched out, get several banners punched out, and I'll be right back to wrap this video up. Well, here we are. I have everything punched out, little samples. I know I can always go back and punch more if I need to, but my plan is now to keep this on my desk always as I'm going through and using this fun Booyah collection and get some of this used up on the pages. Now, of all of these, let me know in the comments, which one are you thinking that does not scream Halloween, and which one are you most curious for me to use on my upcoming pages throughout this month? Let me know, because I would love the challenge. No, I would love to know which one you think. You can see some of these border making cartridges now that they're punched out and on black. You can see these used maybe in a Halloween layout. But yeah, let me know. I'd appreciate it. And you know what? Give this video a thumbs up if you're excited to see what I'm going to create with all this. And for sure, come back in a couple days and see my first creation. Okay? Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.